And when I started working with him, he was like the dad that was not around.
Go ahead, sugar daddy.
So, in Arabic, we call daddy Baba. So,
What is it? Champagne.
every morning when I come to IGT Tech, I used to walk into his room, I'm like, good morning, Baba. So, to me, Larry is my Baba. And I love you so much. And because of you, I became the first master rep at our campus because of your guidance. That's it.
Well, I'm going to take a minute and tell you guys about life with Pop. Pop was always a great example, and he always taught by example. Alina just mentioned his training, or helping her as far as sales. Let me tell you a sales story about Pop. I was in 10th grade, and we were having a fundraiser at school. And I went home and I told Pop, I said, we're selling fruit. We're selling oranges, grapefruits, and apples. And the winning person gets $100 towards their trip to Orlando. Now, at this time, we were living in Bettendorf, Iowa. So the winning person, you know, back in 1984, that $100 towards a trip, class trip was a lot of money. So Pop was like, well, you know, you should try for it. And I was like, well, I'm not really good at selling, Pop. You know, he's like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I don't like doing the door-to-door. I was thinking about maybe just calling people randomly. Oh, you laugh, you will laugh. So Pop sat down and he picked up the phone book. We called the first A in Bettendorf, Iowa. He scripted out and he showed me how to do this. He sold 2 cases of oranges. So he's like, so he hands me the script and he's like, now that's how you do it. So I go back to my room and I have my phone in my room and I start calling people randomly, starting with the A's. A few days later, Pop asked me, he's like, so how are you doing on the fruit sales? And I was like, well, I'm in the K's. He says, I think you can stop now. Lo and behold, the day that the fruit got delivered to school, I had to have a friend of mine's mother help me bring the fruit home because Pop was working. So after 5 trips with her minivan and fruit stacked to the ceiling down the hallway and in my bedroom, Pop and I spent the next two or three weekends delivering fruit in sub-zero weather. He was mad, the mom was mad, and I had $100.
Well, there's 2 fortunate things about being here tonight. One is that I was given about 10 minutes notice that I needed to say something, so...
8 minutes.
The other thing is I've gotten up and spoken about folks several times in the last 12 months, and unfortunately the people I was up talking about were no longer on this mortal coil. So it's nice to get to say something to someone who's actually still upright, vertical. So I'm thrilled to be able to do that. There's so much love for you in this room, Larry. It's just, you can feel it. It's electric. And I'm a representative, still am at ITT, and Larry had the unfortunate, he doesn't make many mistakes, but he did hire me. But no, and I'll be forever grateful for that. He told me on the phone we'd have a 30-minute interview, and 2.5 hours later he says, oh, I'm going to get some lunch. So we talked about the job for about 20-25 minutes, and the rest we just had the best time. And Larry, in the 5 years that I have well, almost 6 years I've known you, I've just had the best time every time I've gone into work and had the pleasure of being in your company. And I think I can speak for a lot of people that are standing around the room here.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah.
And almost the final thing I want to say, thinking back on things, we're kind of like farmers, Larry, except farmers that toil very, very hard. We sweat a lot, and we curse a little bit, and we sometimes plant things, and unlike the farmer who gets to pick the crops and go sell them, we kind of never really know very often what happens thereafter. And what I'm trying to say is that you know, what we do for the students that we've recruited at ITT, and you've certainly had a hand in the life of many, many students at ITT, and I know in other ventures before you actually came to ITT. But once in a while you pull off an email and say, look, Steve, this guy graduated 2 years ago, and he's doing this now, and he just emailed me, I haven't heard from him, and now he's got this job, and he's in charge of this and that, and there's just many things like that. And so we're all kind of like farmers. We plant stuff, we work really hard, but then we never quite know what happens to the crop. But Larry, there's many, many people out there, students, and you know this, that owe a great debt to you, even if they haven't told you about it. We know about that, and they're out there. So, you know, in the biggest sense, Larry, I think you're a farmer.
And that's not just because you're from Iowa.
You've been watching me on Facebook.
Okay, did I have anybody else that actually really wanted to come up and say anything? Okay.
Speak English.
I definitely want to make sure you understand. Larry, I actually call Larry my old man, okay, because he was really old in any case. But what I will say is this, like you, Rena, and obviously like Steve and many of you guys here, when I first started at ITT, I was obviously started as a admissions rep. And Larry was so smooth. I mean, he really is. I used to go and I said, you're silk. That's exactly what you are. You're very silky. Because it was so, you know, he says, Carmen, don't complicate this. It's not that complicated. That was his favorite word. It's not that complicated, you know? And I shadowed him one time, and I don't know, after that, I will tell you though, Larry, I took off. And it was because I learned from you. All right? Then I went to financial aid. And, you know, obviously as an admissions rep, sometimes we have some challenges. And I always used to tell people, you have to shadow Larry, okay? You have to shadow Larry, okay? Because obviously you're so good at what you do.
Yes.
And the amazing thing is, because you did change so many lives, you had so many referrals. So then it came really easy because everybody loved you. We love you. Larry, thank you so much. You have been such an inspiration. All I can tell you is God bless you. I cannot tell you how grateful I am for you helping me. All right? Love you, boy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Carolyn, and I'm going to come to you from a different angle about Larry. My name is Carolyn, okay? Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be at a bar mitzvah, ain't I? I'm sorry, I'm the wrong party. I would like to come to you from a different angle about Larry. Larry is, not only is he smooth, and not only is he a sugar daddy, and not only is he baba and all those great things,
That's my mom.
but Larry is a very patient man. And I first met Larry, I currently work at a company called Frontier Communication, which is a telephone company. But before then, I was working and still do work for Kmart at Lake Mary. Now, I used to see this man come in, roaming around, and then I see this beautiful woman. He's patiently waiting for a while. She scrolls through every aisle, taking her time, looking at items.
And that's my mom.
And Larry just slowly walks around, watching her here and there, but taking a look, being very, very patient. And I looked at him and I said, oh man, if he was a little younger, a little more hair on top of his head, maybe a little tan.
Yeah.
Oh, what the heck, I'm taking even now. But I was so blessed that once this young lady brought me into her lives, Larry taught me how to be patient. I recently had to bring my son here, and he's back there. He unfortunately was hit with a heart attack or stroke, and he became visually impaired. And as a mother, you hate to see your child go through that. But I had a tendency to watch Penny and to watch Larry and to watch how Penny go through ups and downs. She fall down, Larry's right there picking her up. She walk into a wall, Larry's right there to bring her out. I mean, when I tell you this man has such patience that one day I broke down because I had a hard time dealing with my own issue. And I mentioned it to him, I was dealing with this issue, and he just said, you know, the only reason why you're going through that is because you can. You're the strong one, and they know that no one else could take what they're giving you. So I want to tell Larry, out of all the motivational emails that he sent me, all the beautiful talks, all the meals that I've had at his home, because they have adopted me as one of theirs. Yes, I am the black sheep of the family. And they call me Sydney Poitier. We'll be coming again and again. Just don't call me late for dinner, that's all I ask. But I just wanted to be the one to let you know that he's just an extraordinary man. And I really don't know if everybody really appreciates him as much as I do. And I want to say thank you. My son wants to thank you because my son, he's from Philly, and it's very hard for him to trust anybody because in Philly a whole lot of stuff happens. But as soon as he met Larry, he just melted. And my son is a big, tall, macho man. But when he met Larry, Larry just broke him down. And I want to say thank you, Larry. Thank you, Penny, for sharing him. And thank everybody for coming out and sharing this moment with Larry because he is truly an extraordinary man. So I'm